Kettunen Center celebrating 6 decades of serving Michigan 4-H and the community. A.G. Kettunen, state 4-H leader from 1925 to 1956, envisioned a site where 4-H could grow through the training of its volunteers and members. The Michigan 4-H Foundation was founded in 1952 to support 4-H youth programs. But just 4 years later, on February 16, 1956, the Foundation Board of Trustees purchased 80 acres in Osceola County. Later that year, the Foundation launched its first major fundraising campaign to construct Camp Kett. The Foundation Board of Trustees approved architectural drawings of Camp Kett and moved forward with construction. Unfortunately, Mr. Kettunen passed away in 1959 before he could see his dream become a reality. In July 1959, the first stake was placed, marking the building site of Camp Kett. On September 17, 1960, a cornerstone ceremony was held to celebrate the beginning of construction for Camp Kett. Many 4-H volunteers and youth were in attendance, including the Merriweather Trio, who performed at the ceremony. Mrs. A.G. Kettunen, widow of Michigan's longtime state leader, attended the dedication. Mrs. Kettunen lived in East Lansing for many years following Kett's death in 1959. The cornerstone can still be seen near the front entrance to Kettunen Center today. Construction continued over the next year. And in May 1961, Camp Kett was dedicated and opened. 4-H training in the early days was at times held outdoors. The first Camp Kett sign was provided by Ivan Anthony, president of the Mason County 4-H Council and Teen Club members in 1962. 4-H agents held a work bee on May 21, 1962 to build the Bob Dancer Memorial Pavilion at Camp Kett. Dancer was a longtime agent in Fort Ionia County. This illustration, drawn by retiree Charlie Lang, depicts this momentous day. The story has it that the first pavilion did not survive and had to be rebuilt. Today, the American chestnut stands on the site and serves as the Bob Dancer Memorial. In 1972, Camp Kett was renamed to Kettunen Center. Throughout the decades, Kettunen Center offered place and space for 4-H adult and youth training, as well as other programs. Jim Peterson, Kettunen Center director from 1976 to 77, is well known for his wood carvings. He carved this 4-H county map of Michigan, which was on display for many years in the Gerber Room. The earth-sheltered house was constructed as part of the Kettunen Improvement Project in 1980. It became the full-time residency and energy-saving home for the Kettunen Center director. Kettunen Center celebrated its 20th anniversary on October 4, 1981. In 1988, Kettunen Center began offering programs. Some of the first programs included 4-H environmental education program called Trackers. Kett also started a youth and adult team building program called Teams Recreational Environmental Experience, or TREE. A few years later, in 1991, Kettunen Center began offering elder hostel programs called Road Scholar Today. Kettunen Center program staff also began offering the 4-H Learning Science to the Arts Camp in 1992. Kettunen Center is well known in Tustin for hosting community events such as its annual Breakfast with Santa. 1991 marked Kettunen Center's 30th anniversary celebration. Many 4-H staff, trustees, donors, and friends of 4-H and Kettunen Center attended the momentous event. In 1991, the Board of Trustees approved the Vision 2021 Master Plan for Kettunen Center, and in 1994 launched a $2.5 million campaign for facilities and ground improvements and to support 4-H environmental programs. The Vision 2021 Master Plan included several additions, including the Red Oak Wing, the Mobby Learning Center, and a renovation of the main offices, dining hall, and entrance. The original entrance was expanded and upgraded in 1994. The Mobby Learning Center groundbreaking ceremony was held in 1996. And the Mobby Center opened with a dedication ceremony with Russ and Ruth Mobby in attendance in 1997. The dining room was renovated in 2000, adding additional seating and a hallway leading to the dining room. Probably the most notable expansion of the Vision 2021 campaign was the addition of the Red Oak Hall and Courtyard. This added 23 new hotel-like rooms offering private baths and lodging in the main building. Many donors from the Vision 2021 campaign were recognized on the Kettunen Center Giving Tree for their support of the center. Ket donors continue to be added to this wall each year. This bird's eye view illustration was completed to provide guests with a map of the new facilities. In 2002, Kettunen Center hosted the 4-H Family Reunion, one of several events celebrating the National 4-H Centennial. In the 2000s, private gifts continued to provide facility upgrades and enhancements. The bird observation station, sponsored by Janet and Governor Blanchard, was built in 2003. Also in 2003, the Harwood Learning Landscape Arboretum and a self-guided nature trail was upgraded with gifts from the Harwood family. Additional Arboretum upgrades included a gazebo sponsored by the Deal family, and the Firewise Garden, funded by a USDA grant with volunteer support to demonstrate fire-safe building techniques. In 2004, the Emerald Clover Society Wall was built to recognize our extraordinary Michigan 4-H alumni for their service to their communities. Cedar Lodge Gerstecker Wing added new family-friendly rooms and air conditioning to the dorm. Funding provided by the Kelsey Stofflet Estate Gift fully endowed the Kettunen Center endowment and also expanded the fishing dock. The Kettunen Center Master Plan was updated in 2008 with a focus on needed upgrades to meet the lodging and programming needs for 4-H today. In 2008, Kettunen Center was recognized for their environmentally friendly practices as a certified Green Lodging Michigan partner with the Michigan Department of Energy, Labor, and Economic Growth. And in 2009, their status was upgraded to a Green Lodging Michigan Steward. The Cornerstone Society Wall was installed in 2010 to honor lifetime giving to the Michigan 4-H Foundation. Kettunen Center celebrated its 50th anniversary on August 13, 2011. The 1961 Camp Ket time capsule was opened and on display during the celebration. Before the celebration program, Kettunen Center hosted its first ever 5K trail run walk event sponsored by the Cadillac Rotary and Yoplait of Reed City. The celebration also included many fun activities throughout the day, like sidewalk chalk art, 4-H archery instruction, pontoon boat rides, a 4-H petting zoo, and of course, good food and fellowship. Here, former state 4-H leader Sherry Booth shows Russ Mobby the photo of himself as a 4-H youth. In 2014, the waterfront was upgraded thanks to a gift from the Consumers Energy Foundation. And in 2016, 2 shooting sports ranges were made possible by a generous donation from former board president Thomas Cobb. Kettunen Center also provided a local venue for community events, including dinner theaters, senior meals, family reunions, and weddings. 4-H volunteers have been attending 4-H workshops at Kettunen Center for more than half a century. Each year, a variety of 4-H workshops have served approximately 1,000 to 2,000 4-H teen and adult volunteers. Donors to the Michigan 4-H Foundation have made it possible to cover over 60% of the cost for these volunteers to attend these skill-building 4-H experiences. Kettunen Center has had a number of directors over the years, including Robert Losey, James Peterson, Edward Tonak, Joel Thibault, John Grix, and Chris Gentry. John Grix served as the longest director for 24 years. What made Kettunen Center unique was its dedicated staff. Many times over, surveys showed just how much guests enjoyed coming to Ket, not only for the delicious food, but also for the excellent customer service. Many staff members enjoyed their job so much they made Kettunen Center their career, retiring after many years and oftentimes giving back as a volunteer. Today, we say a special thank you to all of the Kettunen Center staff members over the years. Kettunen Center is not just a place, it's a place to learn and meet people, and a place to make many lasting friendships.